So, hi everyone. Um, I'm Giacomo Draghi, and I'm supposed to mm, hold my presentation about pseudo classes and pseudo elements this week. So I'll just start apologizing because I know that I'm going to say pseudo, since in Italian we write that word the same and we read it differently. And so I'm sorry and apologize. I'll do my best to call it pseudo and make it look good. I'm sorry about that. So let's start off talking about pseudo classes. What a pseudo class is, let's look at the definition we see on this website that we often look at. I see, and it says a CSS pseudo class is a keyword added to a selector that specifies a special state of the selected element or elements. So let's look for examples. The first thing, pseudo class is made with the double point and then over a root, and then we'll see some example of it. So 2-point root. What is a root? A root is the biggest container of the page. So you know the main is the container of the main set of the main thing. So you see this div is contained inside of this main, and the root is actually the container of the HTML. And so if I change let's see, we'll change over here the color and the background of the root. And so if I take off this comment over here, it's gonna change everything you see over here. It's changed the color of the text and the background. So I'll take it off right away because it really doesn't look good. Okay. Hover. Usually we use the hover on links, but we can use it on anything. And hover is when you go with the mouse over something, and this applies that is gonna be, we're gonna have some change. So we set it to we set it to make changes when we go over the H1. So you see again the 2 points. H1 and H1, the only H1 we have here is my name is Giacomo Draghi, and it's set it to change the color to red and the background to blue, and I even put it so that the margin changes, so it's gonna detached from what it is. So when I go over it, this is what happens, and that's something really important. We use it already with the hamburger menus. But I mean, that's something interesting. Another pseudo class is this, and I really like. So I have a visited over here, and I'm gonna change it. Let's do it to. Well, let's leave it to visited for now. Visited is when we click over this link and it opens another page, and you see now it changed the color to red. So visited tells us that we already visited that, or we already clicked on that link, and now that we visited it, it changed the color, applied the color red. So visited is really nice, especially if you do searches. Let's do active, and okay, now it changed. Active is when you're clicking on it. So I click, and now that I'm clicking, it's red. When I'm not clicking, even if I'm over it, it doesn't change. And that works with any color, with anything. So that is really nice. I really like that function. Let's talk about last child and first child, and well, let's start with first child. As you see, it changes the color of the list example 1, so this div over here, so the first 3 paragraph, to blue of the first child, so just the first. Well, if I put it to last, you see that it doesn't change anything. That's because there's a break over here. So if I take off this break and the page will refresh, you see the last child now has changed. Now I put back the break because I don't like it displayed all together. Okay. The nth child, and instead changes the color just of that specific child. So now a second child of this paragraph section changed to purple. Okay, so this is the second child, and it works with odd or even. You see the odds change, and if I do even, the even will change, and so on. And you can do it even this way. Let's say that you want to change the first child and then you want to change every second child. So it's going to take from the first, and every second is going to change to that color. So it's a nice selector if you want to make changes. Let's save it. If you want to make specific changes. And this was some example for the pseudo classes. Now let's look at the pseudo elements, and let's go to the pseudo element definition. And here it says the CSS pseudo element is a keyword added to a selector that lets you style a specific part of a selected element or elements. So let's go ahead and watch it. Let's see what happens. So the pseudo elements use a double 2 points. So you see 2 points, 2 points is twice. And the first one, so this class element 1, so this, which is this, is going to change the first line color to red. If I take this off, you see that the first line has now changed to red. And what's about the first letter? Well, here it is. You can change first letter to be another color. Now I set it to green, and I give it a background and a little weight just so that it shows out. But let's say that you want to mix the first letter and the first line, and here we go. You can do that if you want, as you wish. Now, it selector. I personally really like the pseudo element selector. What it says that when we select something, you see, usually is this is the default. It's going to put the background color to green and set the color to blue. So for the element 3, so this class over here. So this is a selection example. You see, that is really nice. I really like that. Now let's look at the last one. Last one is a link, and let's say that we want to put something before it. Before it, I want to put this is a paragraph. So I do this. I'll just call the class 2 points before, and then content. This is a paragraph, and it's going to add the content. This is a paragraph. You see over here. If I want to put an attribute, then I can show in this case the href attribute. Now this is the symbol that I have, because this is the href symbol. If I set it to Giacomo, then as you see it shows the href to Giacomo. Obviously it doesn't exist the href to Giacomo web page. I didn't even put an HTML, so it's not going to work. That's why we set it to this, so it just self-refers to itself. Let's say, for example, that we put an attribute and we call it Giacomo, and we want that attribute to set my name, to say my name, and we want to put it before. So we call Giacomo, and as you see, my name shows over here. This works with after as well, so you just need to change that to after, as you see. It's really nice, and it probably has a lot of applications with the JavaScript. I really like and enjoy studying these pseudo classes and pseudo elements. If you have any question or I didn't explain myself well, please let me know. I will do my best to make it as clear as possible. Thank you for watching. I mean, listening most of it. So thank you. Bye.